Greetings, family, Empress D in nature. Wanted to speak about something. This is what it is, family. Everything around us from the time we're born was intended to keep us from finding out a certain truth. A truth that those that rule this planet, and many of those that are rule nations, are aware of. Everything is designed to keep us from this knowledge, family. And I've been fortunate to come across this knowledge. And so I'm hoping that people are realizing that this is a time where it's time we come across this knowledge, right? We must know this knowledge in order to kind of move forward, essentially. And I think it's come to a point where those that have been gatekeeping this knowledge can no longer gatekeep it. It's coming out. And I think this is what we're on the urge and verge of, family, not urge, on the verge of. I think we're on the tipping point of where humanity finds out this information that's been deliberately hidden from us. It's essentially the information of knowing who we really are and what we really are and what this planet is really all about. So they call it esoteric knowledge, that forbidden knowledge. And it's well known within secret societies. So Freemasonry, they, to some extent, or they definitely know this information. Obviously, those that are leaders of this planet, those that make the rules, they know this information. And it's been deliberately kept from us. And this information, I can't explain it all in this video, but it's essentially that we are much more powerful than they lead us to believe. They use tools like religion to constantly make sure that we look outside of ourselves for solutions, for guidance. The whole point is to never rely on what's inside, okay? That's the whole point. And religion is such a beautiful example. Now, don't get me wrong, these religious walks and faiths help guide in the direction of living with purpose, with living each day knowing that the Creator sees all. It's all intention, right? So trying to live within a certain universal, I would say, laws, because I would say that the religious laws are based on universal laws, right? And at least I hope so. I hope that's what the doctrines are teaching. But at the end of the day, the doctrines can take you so far, right? Because the doctrines are making sure that you follow someone else's rules. Someone else's, you're looking for guidance from something outside of yourself. You're praying to someone outside of yourself to help you or to control the situation. When in reality, it's what's within that's connected to our source is what controls reality in the situation. I hope that what I'm saying is being grasped, right? I know that it's a little bit abstract what I'm talking about, but that's essentially what they want to keep from you. So they always want you to be relying on somebody and hoping that somebody will save you. So, in the United States, a lot of people obviously thought that Trump would save them, so they voted for Trump. And maybe the same in Canada. They hope that this Carney guy is going to save them, so they voted for Carney. The whole reality is, as things unfold, neither of those men are doing things in your best interest. They're executing the agenda of their overlord. Okay? And that's just the reality of it. It has nothing to do with you. And so I hope that that is an example and a beautiful illustration that we gotta be detaching from investing our futures in those outside of us, because those outside of us will lead us astray. And I hope, and I know it's painful, and I know people avoid talking and thinking about it. Nobody wants to talk on it and reflect on COVID, but it's just like that family secret that everybody try to tiptoe around. Like, let's pretend that Uncle so and so is not creepy and creepy around children. Let's pretend that that doesn't exist, or let's pretend that relative so and so doesn't drink themselves numb, and they're not always intoxicated. Let's just pretend that so and so doesn't act. We do a lot of pretending in life, and I feel like that as a collective we are just tiptoeing around and pretending about this COVID thing. Listen, that was huge what happened. And if we're not sitting down and dissecting it and making sure that it doesn't repeat itself, what do you think is going to happen, family? We can't keep living, and we all do it at some point and in some aspect of our life, acting like what isn't. We live in denial. We push painful stuff aside and choose not to address it. And that's not serving. It just makes, it's like the more you neglect it, the more it festers and the more it's going to show itself again. At least that's my perspective. And so for me, when I go through a situation, or if I go through a series of events with somebody or an entity or a group of people, that in that series of events, that person or entity or a group of individuals I was dealing with clearly has no regard for my well-being, only sees they're on a mission and doing whatever. My well-being has nothing to do with our interaction. I'm going to know to myself that I can't really deal with that entity, group, or individual. That's just how I am for myself, because I like peace. So we have to do that the same for all of us. Everybody has to do that for themselves. We can't entertain entities that don't mean well on us. We have to love ourselves enough to put those kind of boundaries up. And as painful as it is, past behavior predicts future behavior, and that's something we have to acknowledge. So we can't keep sweeping important things under the rug, family. And I feel like as a collective, the COVID fiasco is an example of it. We tend not want to think or talk about it. And that's, unfortunately, that's a sign of trauma, right? And so, sure, I'm just one person, family. Anyway, I think that I'm done with this topic because it's pretty heavy. Right? I guess the bottom line is we have to face things that are painful and difficult and challenging. And in fact, with a word, I want to end this with a word of encouragement, because the reality is when you face difficult, painful things, when you come out from the other side of it, you have grown. You've leveled up. I'm telling you, and I'm telling you from experience, right, family? Anyway, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. I love and I value each and every one of you, and I hope you guys are getting out wherever you are, soaking up the beautiful sunshine that they're trying to block out, the giver of life. What kind of demonic, organic life loving entity would want to block out the giver of life? What benefit does that what how would that benefit any of the living creatures that dwell on this earth? We like, and this is what they're publicly saying and declaring they want to do. That's the leaders of our countries. Family, thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. Get out in nature, right? It'll help you get clear and not be able to live in a fantasy land anymore. You got to wake up to what we're really living in, okay? Thank you for taking the time to listen to this message. I love and I value each and every one of you. One love.